Hi guys, this is Boris, and in this video I'm going to be talking about making your own homemade pull-up bar. Now, it's for those people who enjoy and love building their own stuff as opposed to buying things. And I know that the one that we can make is going to be way better and way stronger than anything that you can buy. Okay? The parts for this project you get at Home Depot, and the total cost is going to be under $20. The first thing is a pair of tension bands. Tension bands are found in the fencing department of Home Depot. They come in a couple of different sizes, like these are 1 5/8 of an inch, 1 5/8 of an inch, and these are 1 3/8 of an inch tension bands. Okay. The second thing you need is carriage bolts. These are the carriage bolts that are used to tighten the bands like this, okay? With a pair of nuts and washers. Okay, these are 5/8 of an inch carriage bolts. Now, the third thing you need is, it's called a 4-hole straight bracket. Now, these are found in the electrical department. I don't know why, but they're in electrical department Home Depot, and these are basically going to be your extension adapters to have more flexibility in terms of how you mount your pull-up bar. Okay. Now, when you assemble everything together, this is your plate, the 4-hole bracket, and the tension band is going to go like this, and the carriage bolt is going to go like this. Okay, with the nut and the washer on the other side, like this. Okay. Now, to tighten these nuts, you need a wrench. This is a 1/2 inch wrench. Okay, or you could use this adjustable wrench. Okay. Okay, this is for the fence post. This is going to be a pull-up bar. You're going to use 1 5/8 of an inch bands. They're going to go like this, and then you tighten them. Yeah, so the last thing you need, and the most important thing probably, is the actual bar. Now, this is the 1 5/8 of an inch fence post. It's a galvanized fence post, which is perfect for outside use. It will never rust. It's going to last forever, okay? Now, the fence post will go with the 1 5/8 of an inch bands. Or you could use, another possibility is to use a shovel handle. Okay, these go for about $8 in Home Depot. These are going to be for smaller arms. And for the shovel handle, you would use a 1 3/8 of an inch tension band. Now, the third possibility is using a gas pipe. A 1-inch gas pipe is also going to fit perfectly in this 1 3/8 of an inch tension band, and the gas pipes are in the plumbing department. Alright, so you got a couple of possibilities for actual pull-up bars. Now, I'm going to be using this one, the fence post, because I have bigger hands. Okay, this is perfect for my size. And these are about 6 feet long. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble the tension bands on both sides of this fence post. Okay, they're just going to slide in like that, and then you tighten the screws. Okay, and I'm going to do it on both sides of this fence post. Okay, don't tighten them all the way yet. Just kind of tighten them, but not 100%. Okay. The same thing on the other side. Okay. Now, then, before you tighten them, kind of straighten them so that both of these brackets are line up perfectly. Okay, and then go ahead and tighten them almost to 100%. Okay. Now, if you're using a fence post, you might also want to use a couple of these caps. They just go on the ends, and if you use it outside, this is going to keep the dirt away, okay? Okay, now this is pretty much ready to be mounted, and this can go anywhere where you have some kind of a piece of a wood or a beam. It can go anywhere in the garage or outside or anywhere in your house. Now, to mount these, you want to use 5/8 of an inch hex bolts, okay, with washers, and you obviously mount them in these holes, okay. And these are really strong bolts to mount this, okay? Alright, so this is now ready to be installed, and I'm just gonna go outside and install it in my carport. Alright, so I'm about ready to mount this pull-up bar right there on the ceiling of my carport, okay? And I already checked the position and the height where it needs to be. Alright, before you mount it, make sure that these two brackets are perfectly aligned, okay, and then go ahead and tighten these screws to 100%. Now first I'm just gonna hand it on a pair of nails, okay, on a pair of little nails like these, and then I'm gonna make sure that it's perfectly level using this little level. Alright, now this is not absolutely necessary, but it's a good thing to do. I'm gonna check that it's level. And then I'm going to use a pair of screws, these 5/8 of an inch hex screws, to mount it, alright, with the washers. And I didn't drill holes for the screws. I'm just going to use my wrench to drive them in. And after that, I'm going to additionally strengthen it using these bigger nails so that these brackets don't move sideways. I'm just going to put a couple of more of these big nails, okay. Alright, here I'm going to set a nail so I can hand the bar on it. Do the same on the other side while checking the level, the straightness. And note that the roof is actually not straight, so if I didn't have the level, I wouldn't be able to set the bar perfectly straight. Now I'm setting the screw with a hammer. Note that I did not drill a hole for the screw. I'm just going to use a wrench to basically drive it in. It's not exactly easy, but you can do it. The last few turns were kind of hard. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm hammering this nail all the way first, and then I'm gonna set the screw with a hammer and using the wrench drive it in. Alright, just a couple more turns on the other side and it'll be almost done. Yeah, now I'm just gonna use an additional big nail in the bottom hole to additionally strengthen the bracket to prevent it from swinging sideways. Yeah, and testing it, you can see that the whole roof is shaken, but it can hold me really well. Alright, as you can see, it really works great, and it's a really strong pull-up bar. Now, one thing I want to mention is that those 2-inch screws were just too hard to drive them in, so you want to probably go down to maybe 1.5-inch screws, because 2 inches is just too hard to drive them in. But it's a good exercise. Alright guys, I'm really satisfied with the quality of my pull-up bar. It came out really strong, and I think it's gonna last for a very long time. Now if I was doing it again, I would probably use little shorter screws to mount it. I would probably down to 1.5 inch instead of 2-inch screws, just because it did require significant force to drive them into the wood using this wrench. Or if you have a drill, you could drill 2 holes and then it would be much easier. But I didn't want to use a drill. I wanted to do it in the simplest way possible, just using this little wrench. Okay, and yeah, I mean, it came out really good, and I highly recommend doing this little project. It's a little fun project that you can do in just about a couple of hours, and it's really a must-have piece of equipment for your home gym. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.